kind of interesting. Big shout out to TAP Motors here in Owensboro, Kentucky for giving us today's car that we're going to review. You can find them online at tapmotors.com. Look for the link in the description.
We're live.
Hello and welcome back to Get to Know Cars. I'm Chris, and today I'm going to show you the 2022 Hyundai, however you say it, Elantra SEL. Now with this one, we have a 2-liter, 4-cylinder, intelligent variable transmission. And with that, you're gonna get 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque. Now those figures may seem small, but that's because this is naturally aspirated. We don't have any annoying turbo or anything like that, which I kind of knocked the GR86 for, I praised the GR86 actually for not having one, and then after we drove it, I kind of wished it had one. But with this, just being a practical 4-door car, I think we're going to be okay. Plus, we get some pretty decent fuel efficiency. You're looking at about 31 city, 41 highway for an average combined of about 35. And from what I've seen, some other people, you can actually get that average, depending on how you're driving it, maybe somewhere more like 37, 38, and that's fantastic. The Elantra has really come a long way. This is the 7th generation, and you go back about 3 generations, and this is about the ugliest car. You wouldn't want to be seen even dead in one. But they've gotten bigger, they've gotten nicer looking. This one is fantastic looking. We'll close the hood, we'll take a look at it. We don't have the hydraulics holding it up, so we do just have to use the little stick right here. The color on this is fantastic. Love, love, love this color. We see so many auto manufacturers doing their version of this color, and I think this car is actually going to be a really good competitor to a car like the Honda Civic. And of course the Civic has their Sonic Gray, so they have a competing color with this as well. This one has the blacked out badging. Against this color, it's not bad. If it was any other color on the paint of the car, I would actually rather these be chrome. Got our big grille right here. The front of the car has been the part that I've always questioned the most. I'm not 100% sold on the design, but it's not completely terrible. We have halogen lights, we have LED strips, and our turn signals are kind of hidden right here in the grille. They just mix in there. You wouldn't even know they were there unless you were looking for them, which is actually kind of cool. Coming around the side, of course, we have all these wonderful sharp lines in the car. It really gives it a futuristic, mean look. I think the car is fantastic looking. My least favorite part though is right here, and that's going to be our wheels. These are 16-inch wheels. Now, having some, thicker tires on there, it should make the ride a little bit more comfortable, but I'm just not sold on the size and the design of these wheels personally. Wonderful, wonderful lines coming through the door. They're so aggressive, so aggressive. It gives this car the look that it deserves. It's just incredible how far it's come. We do have a blind spot alert right there. We have our lock and unlock on the handle here. Instead of what you see on a lot of other cars where you put your hand in and it unlocks, it's all going to be done through the button. You push, it beeps once now that it's locked, then you push it again, beeps twice to let you know that it is unlocked. So it's all going to be done through the button right there, which is a little different. The fuel door, you're going to notice it does not just straight open, even when the car is unlocked as it is right now. You actually have to go inside here, and this takes me back to the days of driving the Prius, because this was very similar. And we have a gas button right there to open the fuel door, and voila, there it is. It does use a cap there. So that is like extra safe. You're not gonna have to worry about somebody messing with it as long as you keep your car locked and they can't get in there to open it up. Coming around to the back, I love the side and the back of this car are my favorite features. I think they look so sharp. I love them. I really like on this one the black wing, especially against this color. It looks incredible. We got our strip going across the back here, which looks really cool. Our exhausts, they do not come out of any sort of cutout. They are just hidden underneath there. Very similar to my Mercedes C-Class, which has the fake cutout, and then the exhaust is just underneath the car. That's just kind of what a lot of them are doing. Have our backup camera here. Again, our blacked out badge. You got a button right here to open the trunk. Now, as we'll notice here, the trunk only opens a little bit, then you have to take it from there. Not a big deal, but it is nice to have the ones that fully open up. Great amount of space back here, especially, I mean, this isn't even an Elantra. This is one of the cheaper Hyundais compared to like the bigger ones, like the Sonata, and they get bigger. This is a smaller one, but the space that it offers is fantastic. And then on top of that, underneath here, a car that actually comes with a spare tire. How about that? It's 2022, and the majority of vehicles you buy now don't come with one of those, so that is an excellent feature. And get this, we haven't even gotten to the inside yet, and quite honestly, I'm already impressed with just the outside of this vehicle. But MSRP, because the sticker's inside this car, it's just about $23,000. That's fantastic for the size of the car that you get. I think that's wonderful. We do have pull tabs back here. You have to pull both of them to put down the back seats, and the back seat all goes down as one piece. It's not a 60-40 split, it's 100% one piece, but it does fold down, which is nice. Something that we were noticing when we were looking at the car earlier, when you close the trunk, you don't really get a sense that it's latched, that it's completely closed and locked and everything, but that's kind of an interesting feature. It just kind of goes down and that's it. You don't really feel much else, so you may want to give it a little tug just to make sure that it's actually closed. You got our shark fin antenna on the top of the car. And another feature that I'm not 100% sure on is the black roof on this one. I kind of wish this was just color matched with the rest of the car personally, but this one does have a black roof. And then we'll also point out, before we go to the inside of the car, one last feature, and that's these little fake louvers here, I guess you could call them, just little fake vents. I mean, I guess they give it a little bit of style, extra style. I don't know. I think I could take it or leave it, quite honestly. But let's get to the inside of the car, because the outside was already really cool, minus the wheels, but the inside's actually even cooler, especially for a car in this price point. And here we are at the inside of the 2022 Elantra. Starting with the door panel, I mean, again, for a car in this price point, I think this really actually impresses me. Your speaker here is not actually metal, but it is like this chrome look, and I actually really, really like that. I wish that my Mercedes had that. Now, Mercedes has an option where you can go up in packages and actually get metal ones, but mine is just black plastic like the rest of the door panel. I wish they had at least done that, because I actually think that looks pretty cool. You have this kind of soft touch material in the door panel here that is textured, and you kind of have this fake stitching, we'll call it, or improvised, whatever you want to call it, stitching through here, but it does actually look pretty nice. Got your door handle here. We got our window controls, lock and unlock, and of course the mirror controls, and just a little bit of storage down here in the I can't talk today apparently, down here in the door panel. They do kind of have it cut out where you could put like a small bottle of water or something in there, so that's a nice touch as well. For now, we'll just put my notepad in there. The seats are going to be manual controls. They are cloth seats, but they have a pretty decent design to them. I mean, you can't expect anything overly high-end for this price point, but I think they look really nice, and they are well bolstered for a car in this segment. Coming to the inside, we are continuing the blacked out badge theme in here on this particular model. I think the design of the steering wheel is actually really not bad at all. It's a little bit over the top, you could almost say. The grips right here are a little too pointy. They should have made those a little wider, I feel like, because they're almost a little awkward feeling. I think they could have widened those for the grips, and it would have been a little bit better. But you also have just kind of these ledges and stuff here. I actually like the way that they look. It's just a little different than what I'm used to. So, I mean, you have so many different ways you could hold the steering wheel and try to, you know, get and stay comfortable. Our turn stock and so forth kind of has this glossy black look on them. I think they look nice. They tried to make it look high-end with cheap materials. It's very obvious that it's all cheap materials in here, but they tried to make it look as upscale as they possibly could, and I think they did pretty much about the best you can do trying to do that. Full digital gauge cluster here. I really like how it's laid out. We can change our drive modes here. So you got your normal, you got your sport. I'm wanting to see if it actually changes. It doesn't look like much really changes in the sport mode. Or you can put it in smart mode, which is actually a clever mode that I've actually never heard of on a vehicle before. Smart mode gauges how you are driving the car. If you're driving in city traffic or highway traffic, it's going to gauge how you're driving, and it's going to kind of throw you in eco mode, or it's going to throw you in dynamic mode, which is a little bit more aggressive than normal, but not quite fully sport, but it will give you a little bit more when you need it. So smart mode just kind of makes those decisions for you, and I think that's actually kind of cool. Would I use it in this car? No, I'd probably keep it in normal, and that would be that. Love the shifter in the middle. It's got a really nice wide design, fits the hand absolutely perfect, almost like you're gonna try to take off in an airplane. We're going up, there we go. I think that's really cool. Love the design of that. We have a cubby hole up in here. Let me actually put that back. Cubby hole, my phone is actually right there. It's been charging because this particular model, we do have wireless charging in here. We also have a 12 volt and we have a couple of USBs, one being used, you can just charge your phone, and one being used for the connectivity for like Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, things like that. Throw that back in. We have the electronic parking brake on this model particularly, and we have the auto hold. So that's where if you have it in drive and you want it to hold the brake, we can push that. You can let off the brake and it's holding us even though the car is in drive, and when you're ready to go, just push the accelerator and you're good. That's another feature that my wife's 2021 Civic has. So again, we're seeing some similarities here, except this car actually has quite a bit more because compared to the 2021 for sure. I have a nice 8-inch touchscreen here in the middle, which from what I can tell seems to be quite responsive. I don't detect any lag. It does have kind of a non-gloss finish to it, which personally I prefer a little bit of gloss on my screens, but that's okay. We do have Blue Link, and we also have a button up here on our dome. You got our SOS, and you have a Blue Link button there. Blue Link is the Hyundai's essentially little service that they offer. Mercedes has a version of it, Ford has a version of it, everybody has their own. You get 3 years free, and then after that it is $100 a year, $99 a year technically. That's where you can remote start the car from your phone, lock and unlock, view diagnostic information, all of that stuff. I do like that they give you 3 years free, because compared to my Mercedes, I only get 1 year free, and then for me it'd be $200 a year if I wanted to keep it, which I probably won't. It's one of those things, occasionally it's nice to remote start your car that way, but other than that, I don't really use it for much else, and I don't even use that often. Coming here into the center, we have a really weird out of place handle right here. My C7 Corvette had one of these, and it makes a little more sense in a Corvette, but I don't think you need it in an 147 horsepower Hyundai. So I think if they got rid of that, that would probably be for the better. Plus it would make it feel a little bit more spacious in here. You got some cup holders here. And of course these pop out. You can switch them around, whatever you want to do. Nice little storage area in here. Kind of have this little ledge with some rubberized bottom in it, and then you can pull that out for additional storage below. That is a nice feature. I really like how the air vent design carries all the way over. We're seeing that in a lot of auto manufacturers now. I think that's a nice touch. Makes it, again, they're going for that high-end look while trying to keep it as cheap as they can. Got your start stop button right up here. And then the dash is just pretty much just like a plastic. It's kind of soft, but overall it's pretty hard, just like a textured pattern up here. So yeah, nothing overly fancy. We do have adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist with this, And of course, just the connectivity with your phone, answer and hang up calls and whatnot, volume. Just a few controls here on the steering wheel, which is also a nice touch. But we have another cool feature for the auto climate control. You push on that. You have your 3 different fan speeds. So if that's too loud, you can bring it down a couple of notches, make it a little bit quieter while it's still being in auto mode. We're seeing a lot of auto manufacturers do that now as well, which is nice. Now we're going to turn it back down so it's not running while we're in here, but we do have physical controls. We have dual climate control in here, and of course for the radio and whatnot, for your volume and your tune, you've got knobs for that, and there are physical buttons up here where your screen is, so you don't have to do everything through the screen. I think that's fantastic. But let's get into the back seat and see how it feels, and then we're going to take this thing out and drive it. I've never driven an Elantra, so it should be interesting. And welcome to the back seat of the Elantra. I have the driver's seat in a pretty normal position for driving, and I have an unbelievable amount of room back here. It's incredible. I've got plenty of headroom, and I'm actually wearing a hat, so if I take the hat off, I'll have even more room. You get your handles, get some hooks, but you don't get any other amenities back here. There's no climate vents. There's no pockets in the back of the seats. There's no center armrest. You do not have any amenities back here. There's no USB ports or anything like that. It's just a very basic but spacious back seat, and that's got to at least count for something. So if you're traveling with friends or family, at least you're gonna have plenty of space back here. I mean, it's unbelievable how much space I have. I mean, I can just kick back. I have all this. It's incredible. I'm actually blown away at this. If they threw in a few extra amenities, it would really be the perfect back seat for an affordably priced car. But I'm not going to complain about it because based on the MSRP, this is perfectly fine. See what I like that indicator sound. I like the deeper sounds rather than the heavier ones. I like that. I can handle that. I'm picky on the indicator sounds. I don't know why. There we are. Inside the Elantra SEL. I mean,
it's a car.
It's a car. I mean, I just pulled out into traffic. I mean, we're getting there.
It's very quiet from the outside when you were driving around earlier.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Even on the inside.
Very nice glass view.
Yeah, good visibility. For sure.
Now the C-pillar is a little thick for your blind spot, but not terribly so.
No.
And you do have, I think Chris mentioned, you have side mirror blind spot detectors.
Yes. And the side mirrors are a little bit small. It'd be nice if they're a little bigger, but I get, with the design they were going for. So I mean, as long as the indicators are there, they're perfectly fine. What do you think of the ride quality? I mean, we're cruising about 55.
It feels a lot like my Sonata I used to have. I had a 2013 Sonata Limited, and loved the car. Loved the car.
Oh yeah.
Very nice. I do find this weird middle handrest awkwardly shaped, but nice to have.
As a passenger,
it is. It's nice just to put your hand on something, and it's elevated, so it's just right there at elbow level. So it is nice to hold on to, and nice to rest your knee against, but it is a little too thin and sharp for what it is.
I find it interesting, most digital gauge clusters still give you the circular gauges. They give you that imitation. With this one, you don't get it. There's a box on each side. One tells you your miles per hour, and the other one tells you your RPM, and just a digital, number, decimal readout. That's kind of cool.
And they're kind of at a 3/4 angle.
They are. They're angled in, like toward you, I guess. It's actually kind of tech. I mean, it's very techy, tech feeling. Yeah. I like that. Like they said, screw what everybody else is doing and trying to imitate the old ways. If we're going to put a digital gauge cluster in, let's make it truly digital, and they did it.
Could it be nicer and done better? Yes, there's a lot of empty black space, but it seems fine.
Right.
It seems fine.
I agree.
The rev counter on your right-hand side is a little weird being a decimal. So instead of saying 1,500,
it's 1.5.
It's 1.5.
And then at the bottom it says times 1,000. That way you know what it is. It's different. It's different. But no, I'm pleased with the ride quality. It seems to get to speed sufficiently enough, considering there's no turbo. It is a low horsepower vehicle. It's not bad at all. It seems to have a smooth ride. And I think what's helping with the ride quality is the fact that we're riding on 16-inch rims. So we got a little bit thicker tires. And I mean, it rides really well. And I'm surprised at how quiet
How's
it
the
is.
turning radius?
Well, let's take a look here. All right, let's see. Turn radius.
Seems pretty tight.
It's actually pretty tight because the wheel turned quite a bit more than I thought it was going to. Yeah, so that's good turn radius. Not bad at all. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Just for the sake of the review here, I'm going to put it in sport mode.
And hammer it. It took us a minute to get there, but it's not slow.
It took us a minute to get there, and the car is like... I didn't have any...
You're not winning any races off the line.
No. If you're gonna pull out in traffic and traffic's kind of close, maybe wait for a little bit bigger opening. But it's fine. I mean, it's sufficient. Yeah, it's fine. I didn't have any different expectations.
Out of 10, what do you think?
I have to say I'm actually quite impressed. I'm impressed with the space, with the design. Yes, the speed's not there, but I wasn't expecting it to be there. I don't like the look of the front end. I'm still a little conflicted on that. And then there's just a few minor complaints. So, I mean, I would have to say overall for the price point,
I'd go 7.5.
I was actually going to say probably about 8 to 8.5, honestly.
Yeah.
I think this is tremendous value for this segment.
I would have the Civic hatchback over this every day of the week.
Right.
Every single day of the
honestly,
week.
I probably would too. We both are suckers for the hatchback.
If you put this versus Civic sedan, I'm still going to take the sedan at Honda, but it's going to be closer.
I don't know. I really don't know if I could choose this over the new Civic sedan. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because I actually really like this. Yeah.
This is a nice place to be.
It really is.
It's a nice place to be. It'd be fine for long trips, short trips. Big family, little family.
I would say compared to the 2021 Civic hatchback that my wife and I have, this is definitely quieter on the inside. I feel like there's a lot of road noise with that Civic. I don't know how the 22 Civic would compare in terms of road noise, but this does seem a little bit quieter. It's not. You hear the road. The road noise is there. It's there, but it's not super terrible. And I apologize for the sunlight on the camera. This
is a car you should heavily consider if you're looking to buy a used car in today's market in that mid-20 price range.
Absolutely.
Or hell, even if you're looking in, an upper teens price range for a used car, a little bit extra, and you get what is now an establishedly fairly reliable manufacturer.
Oh yes, absolutely. You see these things everywhere now. And let's not pretend, that the current car market is ideal. I mean, be prepared to potentially pay a little bit higher than that, but still in the 20s for one of these. But it could be more like the mid to upper 20s. It's just going to depend. So just be prepared for that. But honestly, even at somewhere between 25 to 28, this is not a bad car. And
the styling when you park it is not going to feel out of place in any modern parking lot.
Yeah. This looks perfectly fine. You will not be embarrassed to drive this by any means. I hate that sun's driving me crazy.
Oh, it's over here.
There it is.
It's on your side, yeah. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed this review. I'm Tyler. That's Chris. We've been GTK Cars, and pretty solid.
Pretty solid car. Yeah. I mean,
nothing to...
I wish all of our reviews could be like this. It's simple, it's easy. The car, it's just a likable car.
Yeah, very
really, and affordable. Which in these days is hard to come by.
It is very hard to come by. So thank you for joining us, and we will catch you on the next video.
Stay safe. Have fun. Put the pedal down.
Drive it like you stole it. Bye.
And here is the key fob for the Elantra. It's a nice looking key fob, has a good amount of weight to it. You got your lock, unlock, remote start, your trunk, pop, and your alarm button, yeah. So I mean, overall, nice key fob. I forgot to put that in the video, but there it is.